What's up, everybody? What's up? Big Herc, Prison Talk Live. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Hope you guys got to do something interesting with your life. And stayed positive over the weekend. You know, there's a lot of negativity going on out there. So you got to really stay positive and, protect your loved ones, man. Our condolences go out to all the families who have been victims of these pieces of garbage. They're not even getting recognized. They're pieces of garbage. They're worse than rhinoceros poop. These guys are just the bottom of the barrel. They should have been domed on sight. But hey, man, apologies. Our condolences go out. It's not an apology because I don't have nothing to do with it, but these guys are just sick, man. But anyways, you guys, it's just a sad situation, man. Make sure you guys go check out the website, freshoutseries.com. We got the new merch. Pick you up a t-shirt. We got the yard time. I've been drinking the candy pruno in the mornings, but we got the grape pruno, and we also got the tropical and the orange. So we got a couple different flavors. Hey, man, that stuff, it gets me going in the morning. I don't drink coffee, so I drink the pre-workout, and then I drink, sometimes I take a little bit before I go to the gym. But, yeah, man, get you some pre-workout. Check out the website. If you need some consulting, holler at us. Make sure you subscribe. Also, for some positivity and some motivation, check out Big Herc 916. I talk about just life lessons, cars, just enjoying life, man. It's all about just enjoying life on Big Herc 916. Go to Big Herc 916 and subscribe. Support the channel. Anyways, got a crazy situation, man. This guy in Brazil, actually, he's pretty ingenious with what he tried to do. He tried to attempt a breakout using a costume to look like he was his daughter to leave the prison with a plastic mask and everything. Like, he has some stuff look like Hollywood movie mask type stuff, man. So it's pretty crazy. I give him his props though, man. Hey, A for effort, But they said he looked a little nervous, so therefore they kind of pulled him to the side and seen that it was a costume. But hey, I know prison in Brazil is no joke, so I can't knock the man from trying to get the hell out of there, But now he's going to be in the hole, and he's not getting no visits. Somebody said he's probably dead. Yeah, ain't no telling, man. Those Brazilian prisons are vicious, man, so ain't no telling what the guards did to him after they found out, and then whoever brought the stuff in for him to escape, they're probably facing charges now too. So, hey, man, if you don't make it out when you try to escape, you're gonna face some serious consequences. I'll ask Brian Bruton. He did an interview with us, and he did an escape, and then when he got caught, he was in that hole for a minute. So it's no joke, man. I haven't seen anything as far as a follow up with this article, but yeah, man. So what's on you guys' mind? Yeah, it's a crazy story, man. Crazy story. I be queefing. Thanks for the donation. Yeah, he maybe he didn't think it out very well. Oh, what do I think about what happened in El Paso and Daytona, man? I think in Ohio, I think it's sad, man. I mean, I think I just did a video on Big Herc 916 about antisocial behavior. And these weirdos who are going into these places legitimately buying guns over the counter, I don't see what these guys had the need to have in their possession automatic weapons. I don't, as far as how they acquired them, but in a situation like this, to me, man, I don't understand how the guy got, turned himself in afterwards, man. You don't turn yourself in. You get punished, man. You get a dome shot. It ain't no turn yourself in after you done murdered all these people, and then they turn around, they catch some of these other people on the street for not even killing. They beat the crap out of him. This guy should have got a boot to the head, man. He didn't deserve a pass. He didn't deserve to just turn himself in. You know what I mean? That's an easy way out for this guy and be locked down with a bulletproof vest every time he goes to court. He don't deserve that. He took people's lives, man. This guy deserves to be in the dirt, man. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. I agree. That's why I'm not against conceal and carry. I can't do it, but you guys out there, if somebody would have had a strap, man, they should have just domed these guys. They should have blasted them. It shouldn't have been, it's sad because now, the police showed up as quick as they could, but I mean, what do you do, man? This guy walks into public places. And see, the thing is, if these guys were seeing people get domed, as soon as they try something like this, I bet you they wouldn't be trying it. I bet you there wouldn't be a bunch of copycats. If these copycats knew that their life they would be blown up. Somebody put a stick of dynamite in their butt and they blow them up after every one of these, I bet you they wouldn't do it because they wouldn't want that stick of dynamite up their butt. These guys don't deserve no jail cell and no meals. No. What do you think about Jessica? Yeah, I don't know who that is. Somebody said the Brazilian guy is actually dead. Found him dead. Huh? That's a hell of a situation, man. Don't know about who Jessica Yanvi is. Who's that? Somebody's asking about that. Thank you. Completely agree. Yeah, man. I mean, dude, if you conceal and carry, man, you see these dudes, shoot them on sight. They don't get no arrest, man. You killed a bunch of people. You're gone. You're a body after that. It's sick, man. Same MO, same weirdos in every situation. Gilroy, El Paso, Dayton, Ohio, same MO, man. These little weird-looking, antisocial, hatred-looking little weirdos, middle-class American type cats. Hell yeah, I believe guns are important to freedom. I'm not saying ban guns. I'm saying they should crack down on who they're giving them to. As far as these little young punks, you know what I mean? There were 66 shootings in Chicago, 12 murders. This goes on every weekend. Nobody's doing nothing to stop it, and these guys are getting guns. They're not even getting them over the counter over there. We don't know how they're getting them. But there's murders going on every weekend out there. There is basically a mass shooting in Chicago every weekend. It's insane, man. I mean, now banning the guns, what is that going to do? It ain't going to do anything because it's going to create an underground market, and the same gun is going to cost twice the money. So all I'm saying is that some type of regulation and something to equalize it. But to say you don't need a gun, what are you going to do? I mean, you're not going to hug these guys. These guys don't deserve no hug. Yeah, somebody said a bunch of J-cats. Yeah, these are a bunch of weirdos. Weirdos that have no game. They've probably never been laid. Yes, Chicago, nobody talks about it, man. Every weekend in Chicago, they said in one article they had to close down their emergency room in Chicago. That's insane, man. That many bodies, they had to close down their emergency. I mean, it's like, how many people how long can they do this? Every week, 60-something people. They average, I've been following it for a while. They average on a week, man, there's got to be at least 100 people every week getting shot. Somebody said police need to shoot some of these weirdos just like they shoot blacks for doing nothing. Yeah, man, I agree, man. These guys need to be handled, man. I lived in Sacramento Ghetto, Sacramento, California. We had school shooting before the news media was too scared to cover it. I lived in Sacramento too, and I remember the first time they had a shooting was a weirdo with an AK-47, which was in Stockton, and he killed a bunch of kids. Another coward. They should have domed him. I can't remember what happened to him, but these guys don't deserve any publicity. These wannabe copycats, DDB. As soon as they appear, give them a dome shot. That's it, man. You want to, and then let's see how many of you guys want to keep doing this. It's just a sick situation, man. Somebody said, I saw the murder rate in Baltimore is worse than some Central American countries. Yeah, man, B-more ain't no joke, man. What would it be like what would happen to guys like that in prison? Man, he's going to be an isolated man. He's not going to be in general population. Somebody said taking people's guns just stops normal people from protecting themselves. Bad guys don't follow the law as it is. By leaving people defenseless is just stupid. I agree. And taking guns ain't gonna do nothing. Everybody take the guns. Okay, so now these guys have full access. Nobody can stop them but the police or the SWAT or the task force. Nah, man. If we got to go Wild West out there on these dudes, man, somebody needs to take it into their hands. The store security, somebody be trained to basically bust a cap in that ass. Herc, I've stopped committing crime and found out I have stopped listening to gangster rap because it's bad for mentality thoughts. I agree, man. You got to change. Man, music is very powerful. And what you listen to, what you project, what reality you create is going to affect your outcome. And so a lot of these people, man, they create these realities, and in their reality, they have just all these demented thoughts and different things. And then they basically disconnect with humanity, and then they get to a point where they don't care about life. And that's what's sad, man. I mean, when you hear somebody rapping about killing somebody or somebody just entertaining that and they act like it's just a normal way of life, it ain't normal, man. You know what I mean? It ain't normal. Did anyone stop these guys? Do you really want another idiot with an AK standing there while you shop at Walmart? Did anybody stop these guys? No, nobody stopped them. They walked right in there. Then why do we have laws at all? People are not going to follow them anyways. Yeah. Well, what do you think? These guys, I don't know how they purchased the guns, but they purchased them. They said the one guy purchased a gun over the counter. He was barely, 21 years old. He had rounds and rounds of clips. I mean, these guys are probably going on the internet and finding out how to make extra, connecting rounds. So you tell me, the law doesn't stop anybody from doing anything. It's the individual that has to want to consent to follow the law. But you got a lot of ignorant people out there. Did you have to fight when you did your 121 months locked up? Fight who? There's nobody run up. I slapped the shit out of a person, but there's nobody trying to fight who. A lot of, I handled my business up in there, but I wasn't up in there fighting every week and shit like that. I didn't have no need to. I was on some intellectual time. I wasn't running around doing a lot of fighting. Somebody said the guy in Brazil committed suicide. Can a school shooter survive the main line? I don't know. Man. I don't know how it is in other states or how they would treat this guy. I mean, I'd imagine on the main line, somebody doing life would just take him out. There was no need. I mean, just because. So I don't see how these guys would, Chicago year to date, shot and killed 278 shot and wounded, 1,365 total shot, 1,643 total homicides. Total shot 1,643. Total homicides 305. That's sad, man. 305 homicides in Chicago year to date. That's sad, man. I mean, for what? For what, man? It's like that's like living in Afghanistan or Iraq. Basically, Chicago, the South Side. You know, you go across on the other side, you got all the money, but they ain't. You know, it's not going down over there. Somebody said in Canada it's impossible to get a gun. Texas, yeah, he'll get the death penalty in Texas. He should get the death penalty in Ohio, and the guy in Gilroy should get the same thing. No questions. Yeah, there were the shooting in Toronto. I didn't hear about the shooting in Toronto. Chicago already got the toughest gun laws in country. If you take the legal gun holders the right away, it'll get bad because then the criminals will know there are no arms. That's right. I agree. And like you said, even with the serious gun laws in Chicago, they still out there. They still out there killing each other. No disrespect, just curious. It's all good, man. Many people in Canada have firearms, mainly hunters. There you go. Waterson, thanks for the donation. Have you ever talked with a killer? Yeah, I've talked with a killer. They're not going to admit they're a killer. I've never met somebody who openly said that, hey man, I killed X amount of people. But I know through just association that these people got bodies on their cases. You know what I mean? Whether they carried out the murder themselves or they had somebody do it. But I've looked into the eyes of multiple killers, and I know they had bodies, you know. And the look is still as far as, you know, they're not admitting they did any of that. And the whole objective to all these guys I talked to was to one day get out of prison. They were not accepting that prison was the place they were going to be at for the rest of their lives. So, yeah, I've talked to a couple killers. Somebody said in Canada, criminals have no problem getting guns. Somebody said black people will probably go extinct in America in the next 5 years. You're wrong about that, buddy. Because anytime a black it regenerates or has sex with any other race, it becomes black. So that's one of the fears from way back, where black people, you know, or people basically, you know, as soon as you have black in you, you're black, brother. There'll always be back channels to get guns. Always. It's always a market. Guns are illegal in Mexico. They got more guns than us. In Mexico, there's not. They got all kind of gun laws over there, and everybody's strapped. You got people, there's murders every day out there. What do you think about the Charlemagne the God? I don't really have an opinion. I mean, I've seen some of his interviews. I wouldn't mind one day going on a Breakfast Club and chopping it up. He seems like a sharp dude. I haven't really done a lot of research on him or read his autobiography. Brazilian guy to try to escape was found dead today. So that's a couple people said he was found dead. Yeah, they don't play in Brazil, man. They put that thing and make it look like an accident. You can carry a gun in H-Town in a holster. Check it out. What up, H-Town? Miss y'all, homie. Hey, well, shit. Like I said, these guys are going places where people aren't expecting to have to deal with a situation like that. It ain't like they're trying to go to a place where people are heavily strapped. They're not going to any military facilities, any police stations, because they would get knocked down on sight. And it's sad, man, because when you're trying to enjoy yourself and shop and hang out with your family, you got to always look over your shoulder wondering who's the weirdo, you know, who's the guy that looks like he's out of place, you know, and you just got to be conscious, man. I mean, I don't know how to predetermine situations like this, but I know I just always try to be, aware of my surroundings because there's a lot of weird people in the world, man. Quad X, thanks for the donation. Respect, Big Herc. These suckers should be picked up earlier. It's tough to do with all the censorship issues. Keep up the great work. Hey, thank you, man. Yeah, it's I mean, I don't know, man. This situation is sad, man. I'm from the Florida, same hood as Bounce Back B, and these young kids wild as hell. No older real dudes, no more teaching game, just young cats who know it all. Yeah, man, it's there's no more. The OGs it's no more OGs, man. The OGs are gone, man. These kids now, I don't know, they're on so many drugs, and the drugs are so much more powerful than when I was a young person. I've never seen so many young people talking to themselves. Never seen so many young people homeless. You know, before you used to see homeless people that were older, but now it's a lot of young homeless people. It's sad, man. Yeah, it's true about Mexico. Guns and ammo may be illegal, but a lot of people there have firearms. It's nothing new. Yeah, I know. I mean, I've heard stories. Parents need to do their job first. Yeah, I mean, I would imagine most of these guys who did this stuff were living at home with their parents because they weren't working a regular job, or else they wouldn't have had the time to do what they were doing. So it's just when you see people, man, propagating hate, people pushing negativity, you just got to stay the hell away from them, man, and just take a mental note, because it's a lot of people. They're so weak now, so weak-minded, that they're willing to take life of other people over just the most weakest excuses. Their girlfriend broke up with them. They got fired at work. They had a bad day at school, and they want to just tear it. They want to go shoot a bear. It's pathetic, man. These little young punks are pathetic. They don't know how to handle their emotions. They're always playing video games. So they're so far removed from the world. I agree, man. I agree. These guys are so caught up in this virtual reality world that they can't cope with their everyday feelings. So they act like little suckers. Josh and Jesus, thanks for the donation. Oh yeah, Ron the Strong video is on point. We can't judge all the weird people. We can't judge all weird people either. Yeah, we can. If you're out here doing weird stuff and you're running up in places and you're causing harm to people, you're a weirdo, man. Anytime somebody shoots up a place for no reason, you're a weirdo. You don't deserve any love, man. You don't deserve no props. You guys don't. When these guys are killing each other in the hood, it ain't mental. You guys don't say, "Oh, this guy has some mental illness." The hell with mental illness, man. You can't use that for these little white kids who shoot up places. It's not mental illness. When black people shoot each other, they say they don't never call it mental illness. These guys need the dome split, man. Mental illness, man. That's a cop-out for these guys. That's why they do it, so they can go sit in prison and claim that they're not right. Somebody said here in Mexico, life is nothing. If you smash some narco thought, we'll end up headless in some river or in the middle of the weeds. Yeah, that's crazy, man. I've seen something, man, recently. Somebody sent me in Mexico where they caught some drug dealer and had him damn near, he was butt naked, and they had these guys look like soldiers, but there was another cartel with all automatic weapons, and they said they found that guy later on hanging from a bridge. Mexico is no joke, man. You do not want to be down there playing around trying to be gangster. Sam May, thanks for the donation. Respect from Louisiana. Big Herc, best channel on YouTube. Hey, man, much love, man. Somebody said video games have nothing to do with it. Well, video games ain't making people shoot, but it's creating antisocial behavior. It's still a choice. I mean, video games have been around, but they weren't as engaged as they were now. And I'm not saying that a video game is the sole cause of these guys' actions, but I'm saying the behavior. lack of socializing, lack of interaction with other people, closed in the house in the room all day, cussing at your parents, disrespecting your peers, your elders. Hey man, these kids need ass whoopings, man. These young punks need ass whoopings, and then they learn some respect so that they don't get to a point where they think they can just go off like this. Thanks for donation. Love your content, Herc. If the white mass shooter went to prison with AB, and how would they treat him? I don't know. I don't know how they would treat him. I would imagine that somebody would feel that this guy need to get handled. It's just like anybody else. I mean, I don't know, because I'm not AB, and trying to picture how these guys' life in prison. I don't give a damn about their life in prison. They're garbage. They shouldn't have a life in prison. To hell with life on prison. What about the people on the street that lost their lives? You know what I mean? That's what it's about. It's about what happened. These people out here who are suffering while these guys are in prison eating their 3 meals a day. Christopher Varian, thanks for donation. Sick truth, brother. Thanks for being you. Thank you, man. Herc, how would you handle a shooter if you could creep up behind him? If I could creep up behind him, I would snap his neck. I would choke him out. I'd put these 21-inch arms around his neck and strangle him. I wouldn't, man. To me, that is just, a situation like that, man. I've been shot at before. So I know what it's like to be shot at. I've been shot at before. I've had a gun pulled on me, and it ain't no joke. But one thing for sure is that if I see in a situation like that, and I had the opportunity to neutralize it, I would, man. I'm not a coward, man. If I was getting shot at, I'm definitely gonna take cover. But if there's an opportunity to bust this fool upside the head, I would take it. I would take that opportunity, man, rather than see this person continue to shoot people. Somebody said he wouldn't last a day in GP as a white dude. There you go. Would you do business with cartels? Nah, no need to. I'm not going to get caught up. Need strong father figures in their lives. It's sad, man. Yeah, I seen something on YouTube where the kid was cussing at his dad, and the dad's like, you don't really want to talk to me like that. Dad, get out of here. Shut up. Get out of my face. Get out of my room. And the dad was like, son, you don't want to talk to me like that. You're acting insensible. Man, if that would have been, dude should have been knocked out. You want to talk mess in my house? You want to disrespect me? Man, he need to be dealt with, man. And the problem is, these kids now want to go call the cops, want to act like they're getting banned. Nah, you need to listen, man. People need to stay out of people's business when it comes to disciplining kids. You don't beat your kid, but you give them discipline. You know what I mean? You teach them respect. These kids, man, I see them in the stores, and it starts off little, 4 or 5 years old, pulling stuff off the shelves, grabbing on stuff, touching stuff. Man, you parents are sorry, man. A lot of you people out there who have these kids, man, you letting them run buck wild, and then you wonder when they tell you to shut up, you get mad. Yeah, I agree. His mouth should get popped. I ain't never talked crazy to my mom or my grandma or anybody. I never did that. These kids nowadays, they're quick to pop slick, man. The online game rooms are their favorite spot to talk that BS. Yeah, I know. These little weirdos, man, that never been in a fist fight, would never in their life, run up on anybody to confront them, but they got enough sense to go and acquire a weapon legally. And the thing is, they don't care because they got the gun, they bought it with their name on it, and their whole intention was to do what they're doing. It ain't like they were gonna go commit a crime. As far as their thing was to go and just kill. That was their whole intention. They weren't even doing it to be like, rival gang members or something. No, they were doing it to hit innocent people, man. Innocent people. It's sad, man. Yak Time, thanks for the donation. Gang violence, deaths, and people shooting up grocery stores and schools aren't the same thing. Oh, I agree. These guys aren't the gang. I'm just saying the deaths in Chicago, nobody's talking about. Those are gang related. All those shootings, and a lot of time innocent people are getting shot in the process. As far as these shootings are weirdos, man. These guys are antisocial, hate. Some of them are part of hate groups, and they need to be dealt with, man. These guys are terrorists. They're domestic terrorists. Call them what they are. Nico Rodriguez, thanks for the donation. Huge fan, big homie. Much love from Ohio. Keep up the good work. Hey, thank you, man. Appreciate you. Josh and Jesus, what are they supposed to do, Herc? You go to jail for spanking your kids these days? Parents' hands are tied. Hey, it's a chance you got to take raising your kid, man. You got to start young. If your kids are disciplined at 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, you ain't got to be spanking them all the time, man. You're not spanking a kid to be spanking them. But I'll tell you right now, a lot of people who got whoopings growing up or who went into the military, who dealt with a stern father, somebody who put their hand down, they're not doing a lot of this stupid stuff. The odds are they're most likely productive individuals. They can still be, have issues, but my thing is a lot of these people aren't disciplining their kids, man, and their kids have no respect for human life. What's up? What Shawn Michaels doing? Seems to trend. I seen that, man. Shawn Michaels went out backwards. That dude, man. Dude, you got that bored with the regular coochie that you're doing that? Yeah, he went out backwards, man. There was a mass shooter who live streamed his shooting. Guy tried to tackle him and got his wig split. Yeah, sorry, man. Takeaway: the only time tied is when the hands are tied on your phone. I was just making sure people know what's up. Yeah, man, I know you weren't disagreeing. I'm just saying, like, the gang shootings, it's totally different. It's still death, man. You're still taking people's life. And it's not, whether it's a gang shooting, it's sad. You guys are killing each other over, things that could be worked out other ways. But these mass shootings are just out of control, man. Wood spoon survivor. Yeah, there you go. My mom had a wood spoon too. She put that thing to use too, like Jet Li. Who would win triple threat? Man, there ain't no competition with the guys, man. And give them what they want at times, because that's how they will run over you when they are older. Yep, that's right. You get your wig split in the shoe. Herc, can you get your wig split in the shoe? Yeah. I've talked to somebody. He's seen somebody get shanked in the shoe. A guy, they thought his cell was shut, and the dude caught him slipping. Door came open, and they killed him right in the shoe, man. Right in front of a guard. Guy didn't care. He was already doing life. What are my thoughts about the porn industry? Something you regret? Nah, man. I don't regret busted cheeks. I had a great time when I was in the porn industry. I just moved on. I'm not like a lot of these guys where that's their life. I have bigger things, but I don't have any regrets. It's not like I let the business take me down like a lot of these people, man. A lot of dudes went out backwards in the industry. Looking at the histories of all these mass shooters, they're all on Xannies or SSRIs. Sure, drug a kid with psychedelics, turn off the part of your brain that says, this isn't okay. Yeah. Pill poppers, man. Pill poppers that are, have no conscience. Spread fear in predator's eyes. Does holding shank spread fear in predator's eyes? Nah. I mean, everybody, in some places, everybody got a shank. There was a lady. So you're not allowed to take pills in jail? West said they were frowned upon. Yeah, people take pills. There's pill call. They call it pill line. And you see all of them lined up, man, popping pills. A lot of them, they keep the pills in their mouth and then they go back and they sell them. So dudes sell these pills and they're psych meds. A lot of these guys, they just can't deal with prison, man. They're doing that's why people are doing so much dope in prison. Heroin is probably the biggest drug in prison, man. A little match head of heroin, people die over because they didn't pay a drug debt. People die over a little match head of heroin, man. Heroin's big in prison, man. Drugs, and these guys get out and they can't. You know, it's not like they got cleaned up in prison because they were getting high the whole time they were in there. What do you think? What are your thoughts on drug users using crocodile? I never heard of that, man. Crocodile. I never heard of that. Have I watched The Wire? The Wire, I didn't ever watch it, man. It was on when I was in prison, and I didn't watch a lot of TV in prison, to be honest with you. I missed The Sopranos. I missed The Wire. I missed that other prison show in there. I didn't watch any of that stuff in prison, man. Do they still give a methadone? I'm not sure. I know some places, because these guys are having withdrawals, they got them on some other type of stuff, man. I mean, you go from the street taking a drug to prison taking a drug because you can't cope, and then people want to make excuses for these guys. So it's sad, man. Daniel Binkinsum, thank you for the donation. Have I ever experienced felon discrimination? One time, I was working at an investment firm. I was selling limited partnerships, natural gas limited partnerships. I had a Series 23 license, and I wanted to eventually get my Series 7. So I could trade stocks, commodities, a lot of the other stuff listed on the exchange. But because of my record, I wasn't able to get my Series 7. Now, for those out there who are trying to, get a high-powered job, you can, depending on the felony, if it's a state felony, get a governor expungement. Even federal, depending on if you guys can, get a presidential expungement, but you can get a governor expungement and go and get your record clean and get clearance to, become a real estate agent or a broker. I don't know about actually becoming a licensed trader if you're a convicted felon. I don't know how that works, if you can go and get that cleaned up, but I'm quite sure. I got friends that trade. They're not actually working for a firm, but they're trading on their own. But that's the only time I really dealt with felony discrimination was at that particular job because my felony, I couldn't move ahead in the job ranks. Somebody said crocodile is only in Russia. Yeah, I never heard of that here. Do I still have Bitcoin? No, I got Bitcoin Cash. I got Bitcoin Cash. I got Ripple. I got a couple other cryptocurrencies. I'm just waiting for them to pop. I'll sit on them for a year or two, a couple of years, and then when they jump up to like a couple of dollars, I'll cash out and be sitting on a couple 100,000. Big Herc, what kind of access on the internet do you have in prison? Can you trade stocks? Can you surf parts of the web? You don't have legitimate access to the internet in prison, but people have cell phones. Cell phones, you guys heard Brian Bruton talk about them. There are cell phones available in prison if you got game, and if you're looking to try to do business. There was a guy we interviewed. He actually enrolled in college from prison on his cell phone, and so you could do a lot with a cell phone in prison. You can set up an account. You can trade stocks. You can do a lot of stuff if you're slick. 503E Quartersman, thanks for the donation. Do you think the government is involved with all this shooting, or they just hate and people with messed up minds? Man, it's hard to say, man. Everybody wants to say, oh, we want to, kind of point their finger at the government, but then you got to look at the individuals, their family backgrounds, and just their social posts. Nowadays it's easier to profile a person than it was 20 years ago because of all the different avenues. Most of these people, they have a Facebook, they have an Instagram, they have some type of other social media platform that you could research. But I say the drugs, the antisocial behavior is a combination, in addition to feeling a disconnect with society. Herc, do you drink or smoke? Also, why did you get married to us so soon after getting out 10 years? Well, I got married because I met the right person. I mean, it wasn't like I rushed. I busted a lot of cheeks when I got out. I was busting 10 cheeks a week. I had females on just ready to go any given day. So I didn't have any dry spells when I was out, for sure. And as far as drinking and smoking, I never drink, I never smoke, man. I've drank on occasion, never smoked anything, but I have drank here and there wine or champagne, but I never got into drinking because I seen what an alcoholic was, and I never want to be that person. So alcohol to me, I looked at it as a drug, as a crutch, and so I never participated in drinking like a lot of people. So let's get into the shout outs, y'all. Yeah, I don't drink, man. I can't get off taking shots and stuff like that. I've never been that guy. Socially, I'll go out if somebody's, drinking, and I usually have a non-alcoholic drink, but I can't drink just to drink. Herc, love the show. Keep up the great work, man. Thank you, man. Do you blame the bullies? Nah, man. I blame a bunch of weak ass men, and I blame some parents for not putting their foot in their butts. Shout out to Oceanside, California. Shout out to the 916. Shout out to Bakersfield, Jupiter, Florida. Shout out to Mansfield, Ohio, Southside, Iraq, LA, Fall River, Massachusetts, Port Wayne, U.S. Navy, the Marines, the Air Force, the Army, the Coast Guard. Shout out to Houston, Texas, Fall River, Massachusetts, Watsonville, Foreign Road, Chinatown, Chicago, North Carolina, El Salvador, 985, Santa Maria, California, Dallas, Escondido, Phoenix, Arizona, San Antonio, Jackson, Mississippi, Antioch 925, Santa Ana, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Malden, Massachusetts, Frisco, Miami, Fort McMurray, Alberta, Canada, Shelby, Ohio, Crown Heights, New Jersey, Somerset, Revere, Massachusetts, Brazil, Nashville, Tennessee, San Diego, Flint, Ottawa, Canada, Mexico, Newland Projects, East St. Paul, Margaret Street, Pasadena, Agora Hills, North Korea, 707 Vallejo, 714, Brawley, California, Fremont, San Jose, Tanzania, Africa, 785. Hey, everybody, August 16th, I'll be at Pebble Beach Car Week, chopping it up, kicking it, looking at some balling cars. If you're a car guy, if you're going to be in Monterey, or if you're in the Bay, you want to holler, I'll be at Cannery Row, August 16th, 3 p.m., 700 Cannery Row, Suite FF. 700 Cannery Row, Suite FF, August 16th. Come holler at me. I'll have some merch, and we can chop it up. I'd love to hear from you guys. Hey, man, Irvine, California, Salis, Whittier, Arizona, New Haven, Connecticut, Washington Heights, East New York, Brooklyn, New Orleans, Waterson. Thanks, man. How did I manage 10 women? Hey, man, I was taking a lot of protein, brother, and my main focus was numbers. So every day it was like a job, man, managing them all. But that's what I did when I first got out. I was putting in work. I was trying to make up for being gone, man. So I had them stacked, bro. I would, a lot of these women, I would only see them one time and keep it pushing. But that was my life, and I'm not ashamed of it. Shit, get out of prison, and I missed the female, so I was putting in work. Boston, Massachusetts, Sinaloa, Mexico, Portland, Oregon, Somalia, Melbourne, Australia, Michigan. Yeah, you guys, man, stay positive, man. Make sure you go check out Big Herc 916 and subscribe. Go to our website, freshoutseries.com. Get you some yard time. And, hey, man, till next week, you guys have a great weekend, man. And take care of your family, man. Love your people, man.